morning and welcome to DNN News. I'm Putri Suraya and these are the headlines for today. Travel and tourism is among the most affected sector with a massive fall of international demand amid global travel restrictions. More than 1 in 6 young people have stopped working, and those who remain, the working hours are cut by 23%, according to the latest International Labour Organization ILO data. Many manufacturing jobs are on site and cannot be carried out remotely, and this slowed economic activity has reduced demand for industrial products in the US and globally that caused manufacturing to be closed.
Hello Malaysia, it is 11:30 a.m. Tuesday, December 22nd. I'm Aiman and let's take a look at the new statistic here. On 2019, the global economy recorded its lowest growth of the decade in 2019, falling to 2.3% as a result of protracted trade disputes and a slowdown in domestic investment. On January 2020, WCO stated that global growth is projected to rise from an estimated 2.9% in 2019 to 3.2% in 2020 and 3.4% for 2021. And the great lockdown happened on April 2020 because of the COVID-19 pandemic is inflicting high and rising human costs worldwide, and the necessary protection measures are severely impacting economic activity. As a result of the pandemic, the global economy is projected to contract sharply by negative 3% in 2020, which is much worse than during the 2008 until 2009 financial crisis. June 2020 is also known as uncertain recovery. This is because the global growth is projected at negative 4.9% in 2020, 1.9 percentage points below from April 2020. Based on WEO forecast, this indicates the COVID-19 pandemic has had a more negative impact on activity in the first half of 2020. On October 2020, the global economy is coming out from the depth to which it had plummeted during the Great Lockdown in April. But with the COVID-19 pandemic continuing to spread, many countries have slowed down reopening, and some are reinstating partial lockdowns to protect susceptible populations. Over 26 million job positions being lost in Malaysia. Let's begin this morning's breaking news with Putri.
So right now we will be discussing about the impacts of global economic slowdown. There are three impacts which are travel and tourism are affected severely. The second one is rise in unemployment and the last one is slump in manufacturing sector. For travel and tourism, from the graph we can see that the number of commercial flights has been falling since the start of 2020. We can see significant differences start from March 15. From the picture, we can see that a lot of countries are having border closures, flight suspensions, and also restrictions on specific travelers. Early March 2020 saw 10% of all flights drop contrasted with 2019. Then 40 to 60% less flight developments were recorded in late March with global flights influenced the most. By April 2020, over 80% flight developments were limited over all locals. Second impact is rise in unemployment. This line shows unemployment rates in selected economies: China 5.9%, Australia 5.2%, Germany 5.0%, US 4.4%, and South Korea 3.8%. The national joblessness pace of 4.4% in March was the most noteworthy since August 2017, as indicated by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Even Australia and South Korea additionally enlisted an uptick in joblessness rate. The last impact is slump in manufacturing sector as more nations forced lockdown quantifies a more noteworthy number of assembling firms were hit. Some had to incidentally close down while those who remained confronted limitation in getting their stocks. Reduction in demand for merchandise exacerbated the difficulties that manufacturers face. Accordingly, factories that plant all over US, Europe and Asia have revealed the decrease in yield from previous months. Back to Aiman.
Alright, and then join us now with Miss Tivia, the economics lecturer from the University of Malaya, ready to give her professional opinions on why the economy keeps on falling.
Thank you, Aiman from the main studio. I am here today with Miss Tivia, who is an economic lecturer from the University of Malaya. So, Miss Tivia, what do you think is the root cause of the economic decline these days?
First of all, thank you for having me here. It has been clearly seen that the COVID-19 pandemic is the main cause of economic decline. It has spread with alarming speed, infecting millions and bringing economic activity to a near standstill as countries impose tight restrictions on movement to stop the spread of the virus. As the health and human toll grows, the economic damage is already obvious and represents the largest economic shock the world has experienced in decades again.
I see. So, from your point of view, why do you think that COVID-19 has bring a lower growth to our economy?
From my perspective, the companies will be less profitable and will react by cutting fixed excess investment. And then the distribution of income might be worse as well. In fact, the pandemic has caused a serious decline in business profitability throughout the world. Similar to the global crisis in 2008, companies will want to recover their profitability, so for which they will have to reduce their employment. So, this might worsen the already better distribution of income worldwide.
Okay, so like as you have mentioned that COVID-19 has massively disrupted our global economy. So what do you think, how do you think that COVID-19 has affected the oil demand?
I think this pandemic has triggered an unusual collapse in oil demand and a crash in oil prices. Low oil prices are likely to provide, at best, temporarily initial support to growth once restrictions to economic activity are lifted. However, even after demand recovers, adverse impacts on energy exporters may outweigh any benefits to activity in energy importers. Besides, low oil prices offer an opportunity to oil producers to diversify their economies. So, for instance, we can talk about the Russia-Saudi Arabia oil price war of 2020. I guess you have heard about it. It's an economic war triggered in March 2020 by Saudi Arabia in response to Russia's refusal to reduce oil production. In order to keep prices for oil at moderate level, this economic conflict resulted in a sharp drop of oil prices over the spring of 2020.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Divya, for your insight regarding the decline of our economy. And that's all from us today. Thank you.
Is there really a way to improve the global economy? Here's Munir Mazlan.
Reporting from Johor Bahru, I am here to ask Mr. Aman, an owner of a small business here in Johor Bahru. Hello, Mr. Aman. May I know how your company is surviving in these times when the economy is declining?
Okay, hello. My company is barely surviving, but at this moment, we are now using our own savings to ensure the ongoing process of the company.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear about that. What is the main problem your company is facing right now?
Okay, so the major problem that I am facing right now is the limited stock. I usually get my stocks from suppliers that ship them from China, but recently, due to the COVID-19 appeared, I've heard that factories over there are slowing down their operations and they can't meet the demand. We recently contact are several local suppliers in JB, and lucky for us, they are still operating.
Yeah, that's good of you to support local suppliers. Do you have any suggestions for business owners out there to survive and improve the global economy?
To business owners out there, restructure your company to make it more cost efficient. But don't ever limit the job opportunities because we need to think about others too. It is better if we, as business owners, try to open up more job opportunities to not only to improve our business but also for our global economy.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Aman, for your input. I hope your business will grow even more. And have a nice
Thank you
day.
very much.
Now I am here with Mr. Ainan, a student here at the University Technology Malaysia, Johor Bahru. Good morning, Mr. Ainan. So for the first question, I would like to ask, being a student must be difficult nowadays. So since the economy is getting worse and worse, how do you survive during these tough times?
Yes, especially being a student with a thin wallet, it's very difficult to live nowadays during this COVID crisis. Like I have to do certain part-time jobs to actually pay for my tuition fees and also for my rent for the room in Johor Bahru. Like it's almost impossible for me to pay the rent of my room if I don't make a daily savings. And also the price of the food out there, it's very expensive nowadays.
Yeah, it's very expensive. It is really a difficult time to live in. And as a student, what are your opinions and suggestions on improving the global economy?
As a child of a tourist guide, I feel that tourism could actually help to elevate the global economy of a certain country. Like, what can a certain tourist spot do is that they could actually restructure their organization and the SOP and promote their tourist spot at a very low price to the whole country. So this can help the family who have financial crisis to actually have a good time with their family out of their house. And also, like certain countries, they solely depend on just tourism, and I'm pretty sure the economy of these countries are really poor right now. So what can this country do is that they could either diversify their economy, or they could actually seek out the steps that I've mentioned, like promoting to the families at a lower price and so on.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Ainan. Thank you and have a nice day. After hearing their difficulties going along these tough times, I believe we really need to improve the global economy together. Just like Mr. Ainan said just now, countries need to diversify their economies to contribute to a more sustainable and stable global economy. Companies, tourism spots, manufacturing industries, and other sectors need to come up with a new plan to maintain and boost their productivity. Increasing job opportunities will reduce unemployment and poverty, which are the key factors of the economic slowdown. Moreover, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) can open more opportunities for countries to receive financial help in facing the economic slowdown. The United Nations needs to encourage the countries to try getting rid of the economic inequality nowadays, since the old days again. And last but not least, dear world leaders all around the world, don't fight for a worthless position, but fight for the ones that voted you to be in that position. And to all the viewers, I know that 2020 is not the best of years, but we need to grab every opportunity we can get. Educate yourself more about the economy, apply for jobs, and don't ever give up. I hope all of us can improve the global economy. Muni Mazlan, DNN News, Johor Bahru.
Let's do our part in improving the global economy. That's the NN News for Tuesday morning. I'm Aiman. Please take care of yourself and each other.